for people, residents, and for businesses here in New York State. Just here's a couple of the items that it does for localities. It has state funding for mandates costing more than $10,000 annually, or $1 million statewide. Financial assistance to localities to consolidate services, to combat Medicaid fraud, and a list of other things. But in addition to that, it will also cap annual school district property tax levy increases at 4% or the rate of inflation, whichever is less, providing, and this is just an estimate of course, $1.5 billion in savings to homeowners and businesses for the 2008-2009 school year. And so folks can view this particular legislation themselves at the Assembly's website, and that's www.assembly.state.ny.us, and you can do a quick bill search. It's the New York State Property Taxpayer Protection Act. And you know, I don't understand why we didn't have a second for it, why we didn't have the opportunity to even discuss it, because as I talk to people throughout just Watertown, one of the major issues they say to me is that if my property taxes continue to escalate, I'm going to have to leave my home. And I think that we should support every initiative, whether it's local or statewide, to reduce this burden. And I believe that this particular legislation does provide a lot of relief. But the legislator, the Assembly, they cannot pass it without the support of localities like us. So I'm going to ask the manager to prepare it again for another round, and hopefully we can have another opportunity to support this.
I'm out of curiosity because I did read through this, and it deals with a lot of it deals with school taxes and a lot of county programs. What impact do you know does the Watertown City School Board or Jefferson County government, what impact would this bill have on them? Have you had discussions with them?
I have not, and quite frankly, my concern is the taxpayer in all of this.
Well, from our standpoint here in the city of Watertown, the control that we have over skyrocketing tax rates, in fact, our tax rate has declined in the past 2 years. Now, my suggestion is if you're concerned about the school district tax rate, which we are all concerned, we have elected representatives on the school board. I suggest that you, before you introduce resolution for us to support, you should at least know what impact it would have on the local school district. And if that is your main area of concern of school taxes and the rising school tax levy, you should run for school board. We have no control in city government over what the school board, the elected school board members do. And I would think that if you're going to ask us to support or have support of legislation that's going to impact our local school district, you would at least want the impact of the governing body, or at least know what they would want or how it's going to affect them.
Yeah,
Is it going to be a negative impact?
Listen, I don't.
Negative.
All of this is fine. All of this is nice grist for the mill, but these are all busy people, including ourselves. We have another presentation which we're scheduled to receive. Was there any other?
No, I think it sounds nice in an election year when you're running for office to sit here and rant and rave about property taxes, but you know the reality is that what we are elected to do is the city budget, and we have control over that. And as a council, we've lowered that. And you know, if there's specific proposals and concern of city property tax rate and cuts that you want to make, then we do that at budget time. Or if you want to make cuts now and cut things out of the budget, let's hear what the proposals are. If you're concerned about school district taxes or Medicaid, which we have no control over, they're nice talking points, but that's all they are, is talking points.
Well, here's the essential problem. We generally don't engage in sense of the council resolutions. Obviously, it was the decision of the body not to introduce this particular resolution. You know, I think fairly tolerant as far as allowing debate, but I don't think the body wanted to discuss that. Now, you brought it up under new business. You made your talking points.
Well, I'll tell you, it's interesting that you are able to decipher what my motives are in regard to talking points, but what I'm telling you is that often change only can occur through legislation when it comes from a higher authority. And we have all seen what's happening here in our state. And I believe that we, as an elected body, have an obligation to do everything that we can, support every initiative. That's what Governor Spitzer asked. Governor Spitzer asked us to come up with some ideas for consolidation. We responded to that. And here's another opportunity for us to respond to those that are in positions that can make a true and lasting impact. And so all I'm asking us to do is to be gracious and support their initiative, because ultimately it will affect all of us in a positive way. Now, what it does on an incremental level to particular school budgets, I don't know those facts, but my greatest concern is that our residents within the community are able to have less of a burden. And if that means just happily supporting a resolution to help them get to where they need to be, I would do that any day.
All right. Is there any other new business? I really,
I know.
I know.
Very short.
You got 20 seconds.
Talk to either legislator from the state about this at all, like locally, veteran rights, or something in Alberton about this?
No, this...
I had a conversation with them today, and from that conversation, they said that bill is going nowhere at this time until it gets to them, and they don't foresee it getting to them for a long, long time, and it really is.
And that's why it needs the support of folks like us to get
No,
there.
it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
We have no control.
Listen.
That's why
This has got to stop. We can't go this way all the way from now until November. You know, we've got the people's business to do. It's got to stop here. People are allowed to make points, say what they need to say, but much of what is being said here can be said in other venues. So I would please ask the indulgence of the council to confine our activities in this room on these Monday nights to the business at hand, and I thank you. Was there other new business? Either one of you. Okay, I had a couple of small items here.